Well, thank you very much for that introduction. There's nothing left. You said it all. I want to recognize a few of my colleagues and former colleagues, Colleen Grady, who's here, who I serve with in the House, Nan Baker, who's a new member of the House, and my longtime friend and ally and many other things, Tom Patton, Senator Tom Patton, who's here as well. And as you over the past few months, we have elected a new president, and we have someone in office who is a wonderful aspirational speaker who, at the end of his speeches, sometimes will bring people to tears. And since my topic is county government reform, I will not hope to inspire you such that you will be brought to tears. I just hope your eyes will still be open at the end of my remarks. But I came to become interested in this because I've had a unique opportunity in life to serve in a number of different levels that interact with county government and local government, both for the county commissioners, where you administer local government, for the Chamber of Commerce, which interacted with local government to create a business environment and focus on economic development issues, and then now at state government as a leader of the House and now in the Senate. And I've seen it from a lot of different perspectives. And over the years, I've just seen some things that made me ask a lot of questions and wonder how we can't do this better. Some examples, I remember when there was a big fight between a city and a township in the Dayton area, that you could drive down a road and you'd find snow and then no snow, and then snow and then no snow, as they would raise and lower the plow from the city and refuse to plow the township section of the road. And you would, an example that I saw when I started digging into county government is I saw a dispatch center in a township that did emergency dispatch services, where the lady who worked in there could wave across the street at the dispatcher that worked for the municipality on the other side of the road. They did the same exact job, served almost the same exact people, yet we had a complete duplication of services. And I will tell you that the need for reform in local and state government, or local government especially, is not something that's a sexy topic. But I want to talk to you a little bit about Ohio and think about how desperate of a situation that we are in and why we need to face this problem. We have 88 counties, which is more than a lot of states have, 1,308 townships, 960 municipalities, it includes villages and cities, 613 school districts, and 900 other tax districts, including libraries and parks. And in these circumstances, you have fire departments, police departments, road departments, administration, supervisors, payroll, benefits, a legal team, economic development specialists, and numerous ways of collecting and administering taxes. And in many circumstances, these are the same people doing the same things for people that live right next to them, but you have an entirely another government overseeing them, and the duplication that represents. And I remember a conversation I had when I was up here in Northeast Ohio one day, where I talked to someone from the Regional Planning Commission that said that there were more government jurisdictions that they dealt with at the local planning commission level than is dealt with by the United Nations and world and all the governments around the world. And I think that was a symbolic, that to me was a very symbolic but real example of how we may be a little bit out of control. And so you ask the question, why do you need reform? I would argue to you that we have to have it, because we can't afford the kinds of things that we want right now from government, and we can't expect someone else to solve our problems. We have a national debt that is $10.7 trillion, and we can foresee deficits of $1 trillion, maybe as high as $2 trillion for the foreseeable future. We have a Social Security, a Medicare and a Medicaid system that have structural deficits and we cannot expect although we're going through a little bit of a state and local government bailout now, we can't expect that we're going to get more from the federal government to solve our problems. Over time, we can only expect less, and to expect more of the things that they provided, the bill to be passed on to state and local governments. You look at the state and local governments and you look at all of our employees. We have pension systems that all of these local government employees and state government employees are involved in. There's a pension plan right now. A couple of the pension plans are not structurally sound in the state of Ohio, and it could cost as much as $500 million a year additionally just to fix one of them. Where is that money going to come from? When you combine the longevity of people that are living longer, that you have health care costs that are going up, more retirees, and the fact that you have a market that people are invested in that's down approximately 50% from its high, these things seem unsustainable. And we have seen a financial crisis hit Wall Street. I believe that the financial crisis for state and local government is here, and if not here, it's right around the corner. And you ask yourself, well, if that's the case, is the public ready to support it? I believe that the public is ready to support it. I believe that the public wants it. I believe that soon the public will demand it. The question is, will we be on the front end of these changes, or will we be on the back end of them? You can look at recent surveys that have been done right up here in Northeast Ohio. 3 in 4 respondents favored their cities combining road and sewer and highway services with their municipal neighbors. 2/3 agreed that the region's economy in Northeast Ohio would benefit if government was consolidated. You have the Fund for Our Economic Future, who are putting together grants to help local governments do more of those kinds of things where they would consolidate. And to put it in perspective about whether we're ready for it, let's look back in history. In the mid-1950s, Ohio was ahead of the national average in income. In 2006, we were 8% below the national average in income. And I'm going to cite for you a few statistics that talk about the budgetary and economic need for the efficiency that can come with government reform. Median family income in Ohio, we now rank 40th. Gross state product, 42nd. Poverty rate, 33rd. And total state taxes collected per capita, 9th. We're at the wrong end of the trend on all of those numbers. And if we want to be able to have a more prosperous future where we can afford the government services that exist right now, we're going to have to make fundamental changes. So you ask the question, okay, you were the Speaker of the House, you had one of those powerful positions in state government, what have you been doing about it? And I'll tell you, we've started that process, I think, at the state level to try to encourage county and local governments to reform. We created a local government reform commission at the state level, which I have made several appointments to, and they were meeting this morning. And they're probably still meeting as I'm talking right now, because they have been entrusted and given the responsibility to start a conversation at the state level about what is going on across the state, how can we learn from one another so that we can consolidate and reform our local governments. And there are a lot of, I hope that what will come from that is a list of things. Rather than local governments have to come up with their own ideas, we will have a list from all the good ideas that exist that have been accomplished across government jurisdictions in the state, and it can be a resource for those changes.